Now, Doctors Without Borders has accused Israel of using humanitarian aid as a bargaining chip, days after Israeli authorities cut power to the only water desalination plant left functioning in Gaza. Israel halted aid deliveries into the territory after deadlock over a fragile ceasefire deal. Yemen's Houthi rebels have vowed to resume their attacks on Israeli ships until shipments of aid are allowed back into Gaza. On the diplomatic front, mediators are seeking to bridge their differences between Israel and Hamas as they convene for a fresh round of negotiations in Doha. Hamas says it will deal with the meeting in, quote, a positive and responsible manner. The group is seeking to kickstart negotiations for the next stage of the truce, while Israel is pushing for an extension of the already expired first phase. Giles Gibson has more on how this deadlock is playing out for Palestinians on the ground.
There's now mounting concern about the humanitarian situation inside Gaza after a relative improvement during the ceasefire that started in mid-January. Saudi Arabia has described this decision to cut off electricity supplies as a collective punishment against Palestinians. Meanwhile, Qatar, which has been a key mediator between Israel and Hamas, has said that it's a flagrant violation of international humanitarian law. Now, while much of Gaza's electricity demand is currently met by generators, that's off the back of the widespread destruction that's been caused by the Israeli military. This decision is expected to have a devastating impact on water supplies. That's because a key desalination plant, which turns seawater into drinking water for many people in central and southern Gaza, has now been effectively cut off from the grid. For the United Nations, there's a huge amount of concern because this comes on top of that existing blockade on humanitarian aid.
Nothing. I mean, there's been no goods coming in, no trucks coming in. I've not heard that humanitarian workers were not allowed to go in, but no goods have been coming in. And I mean, we again call on all the parties to live up to the obligations that they had agreed to. We want to see the humanitarian aid return.
Now, Israel says that it's using all of the tools at its disposal to secure the release of Israeli hostages that are still being held by Hamas inside Gaza. So for these measures to be lifted, there is going to have to be some sort of a breakthrough in terms of the talks that are currently ongoing in Qatar around the Gaza ceasefire agreement. Phase 1 of that deal expired more than a week ago, and the two sides have effectively been in limbo ever since. Giles Gibson, CNA, Tel Aviv.